Showtime. Play the video. Use some background music. And we are live again with the John Cooper Works Racing Team, and we just need to add PJ in here real fast. Looks like he just popped in. There he is. So now we have all five. I mean, five of us, all four of you guys. So everybody, welcome to the live stream again. You just did Watkins Glen, and two of you placed first. So we have something to celebrate there. Cristian, you got your first place in your racing career?
Yeah, that was my first win.
And then Clay, you got first place in the TC Pro, or in that Pro car, so that's pretty good, fantastic.
Yes, it's that car's second win now. So,
well, that's great. So I'm thrilled to hear that. PJ, I heard you had a few little incidents.
Yeah, it happened. I mean, unfortunately, it was something out of our control with a failure that was out of our hands. But I'm happy that Cristian was right there to pick up the win right behind me. So it was good. If anyone was going to get it, at least he got it.
Well, I'm glad to use that. That's fantastic. Lewis, how do you think everything went this weekend, or last weekend, I should say?
Yeah, I mean, the weekend was it went quite well. We had quite a bit of challenges, quite a few challenges, and but at the end of the day, we were able to pick up 3 trophies overall through the weekend. Most people probably don't know this, but we have a good history at Watkins Glen. We won there, except for last year, we didn't podium at all. But previously, we I think won 6 straight visits to the Watkins Glen, 2 times in IMSA. With the minis back in street tune, the street tuner class, and then did it with another manufacturer in a different class in IMSA, and then in SRO. I think we've done it 3 or 4 times. So we've been very successful at Watkins Glen, which is really good. It's one of those tracks that I call our house. So. Yeah, we won. What was really incredible is that we won both classes in race 1, so TC and in TCA, and we knew it was quite a surprise that there were so many tire failures. We knew that was a chance. We've had experience with that before, and unfortunately, it bit PJ. PJ could have won that race. I think he was quite fast, and he had just taken the lead basically, and then the tire. Actually, he was in second, and was that the case?
Yeah.
And the Honda blew its tire also on that same lap. So if it wasn't for a tire failure on PJ's car, he probably would have won the race. Cristian, obviously Cristian and PJ were swapping positions a couple of times back and forth, but PJ was quite fast, so it could have been PJ's not only his first podium, but maybe a win. So unfortunate. PJ's right there. We've been bummed a couple of times now, or quite a few weekends here in a row, because PJ should have had a few trophies by now, and there's always just something that we just haven't been able to overcome, and this time it was tires.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, I mean, overall a great weekend for the team, for Mini.
Mm-hmm.
We were, a little disappointed because we could have had a little better. It's never enough, right? So, but yeah, the race 1 kind of helped us out, and we achieved our goals and made some good progress in the championship for both, Cristian and Clay. I'm not sure, first place in the championship in either one of those classes are not unrealistic, but pretty difficult at this point. I think Kevin Bohm's got it kind of wrapped up. He seems to continue to just win races regardless, and then partook on TCA. He's pretty far up there, and even they got hit pretty hard with balance of performance, but I think that helped them. Unfortunately for us, because he didn't have any tire failures, maybe wasn't fast enough because of the car, and maybe not loading the tires as much as we were, and he managed to get either 2/3 or a second and a third, or 2/3. I don't remember, but he podiumed both races. And when you win that many races already, and then you continue to get podiums, you're just the points just start getting away from us. So we will focus now, to maximize our next 3 race events, or next 6 races, and do our best to just go for wins and podiums as we usually.
Yes, I know the next race is Road America, I believe.
Yeah, that's accurate, and we've been quite successful there too, especially in SRO with the minis. Very similar story. We haven't won a lot there, but we've always been in podium contention. So, Matt, was it Matt? When was the last? I don't remember last year anyway, but Matt Pombo did a 1-off race or 2-off races with us 2 years ago and had a spectacular win from last place in the rain to pass, basically make the pass for the win at the checker flag. So that was kind of cool. And so we have high hopes again, again, like I said, PJ's right there too. So maybe that's his weekend. Hopefully, we get through it. We just unloaded the cars from Watkins Glen, so they all are pretty much in one piece. So that'll make our workload a little easier in the next 3 weeks to prepare for Road America. We're going to do a lot of refreshing. Road America is a high speed 4-mile, lap. So probably the fastest racetrack we go to. Is that correct, guys? Probably.
Yeah,
I think so,
Yeah. So we'll do some wheel bearings, and we'll have some fresh brakes, and so we'll go through the cars and put some nice new bits and pieces on all of them. Just we Watkins Glen was halfway mark for the season, so So I think it's never a given, but obviously we should be looking okay. We'll put a lot of effort in. Hopefully.
That's fantastic. Now I know I did watch the live stream. I didn't watch it when it happened, but I watched the live stream after the fact, and I did see some good teamwork between Cristian and PJ with their 2 cars. So it was definitely kind of a neck and neck, helping each other out around the track.
Yep, definitely. That's how we work. We are a team. We're mini JCW team, and that's how we roll. And if one falls, the other one's there to pick it up, and it goes both ways. So yeah, it was really, really fun, and it's only gonna push us forward from there.
I definitely see some big successes in the future for the team. But I do want to pull up a couple of video clips. So we do have.
And Cristian said from a young
Cristian's
age,
live stream
all he
here.
wanted to be was a racing driver. He got a surprise call to jump into one of his dad's cars at the tail end of the season last year and impressed everyone. Finished 3rd on debut, 3rd again the next day at Sebring, runner-up at IMS in race 1 of the weekend there last year, and closed the season with a 4th. It's been a good season. He has 1 podium, including the last time out. That was race 2 at VIR, but no wins in this young man's career just yet. But that's all about to change. The native of Indianapolis, Cristian Perocarpi through the final corner. And Cristian Perocarpi is a race winner in TC America, powered by the Skip Barber Racing School.
Well, if it wasn't a doubleheader week.
That's a fantastic video clip there to get to see that car blast through. I must say it looks really good with gunmetal wheels on it too.
Yes, I like it. It looks really, really cool.
Yeah. The combination of the yellow and the black, that car has a black hood, which is I don't know if you guys know the story, but the black hood represents our first win at Daytona, and back then the cars were all one solid color, and during practice before qualifying, I can't remember who it was. I think it was Matt Pombo's hood latches or pins. Somehow with the harmonics and the speed, they unlatched and the hood opened up in the tri-oval, which is the front straightaway at Daytona, in front of pit lane at 152 miles per hour. The hood basically popped open and wrapped, it folded up across the windshield and the hood. And, Matt, brought it to a stop without a problem. And so that was a close call. But back then we qualified basically, like an hour later. So, we always have these great Miniacs, our Miniac program, where we have the local technicians from the local dealerships.
Yeah.
And man, those guys were on it, and we replaced the windshield, pre-fit a hood, and got the car out for qualifying. And I think we qualified third or fourth. And so that was good that we made qualifying. So the new hood came with the OEM black primer on it. And so, we didn't paint it or wrap it. We just left the black hood on it. And that car went on to win Daytona. So that was our big first win at Daytona for Mini. It was huge. I believe it was it a 4-hour race? So I think it was the first 4-hour race in IMSA at Daytona, and we beat Porsche, Audi, and BMW for the win. And so now the black hood on our race cars is a tribute to the Daytona win. So we call it the Daytona livery, basically. So
that's pretty cool. I mean, it has a great story behind it. I'm sure not everyone knows that story.
Yeah.
So to hear that is pretty cool. Now, as everyone knows, during last couple of days of last week, we did lose a racing legend. Paddy Hopkirk passed away, and I remember hearing that you all dedicated the race to him.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
lost a great racing legend there.
He was a cool guy. I met him a couple of times. It's interesting. I should have had him sign the car because I think it's Christian's car that has Tony Hawk's signature on the roof, and
yeah,
I think we had that same car. When I met Patty for the first time, I should have had him sign the roof. That would have been, amazing. But unfortunately, I didn't think of that back then. But
yeah,
he was awesome. He put Mini on the map in rally, and most of Mini's legacy is winning the Monte Carlo rally several times back in '60s, and so this was a great weekend for us. We dedicated the weekend to him, and not only that, we won the TCA class, we won the TC class, both on the same day, so same race. So that's for him. That was a good way to say goodbye to Patty.
Yeah, and we My Car Club in Kansas City, we did a bit of a car show. It was in honor of JCW National Day over in the UK. It ended up also being the National Day of Motoring, and then we decided at the end of that brief little show that we were going to pull a rule number 37. So we motored up to a Irish pub in Weston, Missouri, and toasted Paddy Hopkirk there. So
Yeah.
Nice.
It seemed only fitting for him.
Yeah, that was awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
But great racing legend, and sad to hear he's gone. I mean, he was 89, I think.
Yeah.
So he lived a really long life.
Yeah. He looked really good when I saw him, and this was maybe 4 years ago. You know, obviously, even at mid 80s, I thought that he looked amazing. So, yeah, he had a great life. You know, the mini world community loved him. He was very active with that too. So, I believe he got to do either an exhibition or a run. I'm not sure if this is accurate or not, but maybe I thought he got to do it in a classic mini at Monte Carlo recently, or a few years ago. But anyway, he was awesome for the mini family and mini race cars.
Yeah. So, I guess that makes this signature I have of his a little bit more meaningful now.
Oh wow.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice.
I gotta find a picture because I had the picture when I met him, so I'm gonna have to print that one out and print it up.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of a shame I don't have a number 37 Mini anymore. It's a number 74 Mini.
Oh yeah.
Well, I went from I had a Cooper S that I had number 37 on for the longest time, and then I went to the anniversary edition JCW. It has number 74 on it.
Yeah.
So if the car had been chili red with a white roof, I would have done a full Paddy Hopkirk livery on the car. I think my next JCW may actually go that direction, just a full-on Monte Carlo rally livery on it.
Nice.
That would be cool.
That'd be really cool. Speaking of new minis, you all saw the Mini Aceman concept, haven't you?
Paceman? No, I don't think I
No.
have. No.
You haven't seen the Aceman.
No.
Holy smokes! Oh my gosh, he has not seen the Aceman. Okay, well,
You have a picture? Are you gonna post?
I have more than just a picture here.
It came out today, right?
Yeah, it was launched today. It was supposed to be launched on the 27th, so it came out a day earlier than I was expecting. So let me pull this up here. There it is.
Wow.
Full electric crossover vehicle.
Oh wow.
Of course, I got these banner ads that pop up in my videos all the time.
That's cool. Wow.
I actually downloaded all the video clips from the press club and stitched this together in about an hour, just so I had a video up of the new car.
Wow.
Pretty sharp looking.
Yeah.
Very modern.
Mm-hmm.
How big is it? Is it the size of the Countryman?
They said it's going to be somewhere between the 5-door hardtop and the Clubman.
Nice.
So I think it's replacing the Clubman.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But the wheels do remind me a little bit of the Untamed Edition Countryman wheels.
Hmm.
Those seats are crazy.
Yeah, so they're definitely going all out.
Yeah, we're ready.
Much cleaner look too. I think or clean at the same time, very complex. It's going to look if they actually built it like this, we know they're not going to build it like that. But if they actually build it like that, it's going to be a pretty aggressive looking little Mini.
Yeah.
I think it'll be definitely one that's worth selling. Unfortunately, the Aceman will not be coming to the U.S. market. There is rumor that the Paceman might. They're working on a Paceman concept possibly, and we know that the Traveler will come to the U.S. market because Americans seem to love larger crossover utility vehicles, so they don't think the Aceman would sell very well here.
Well, since you're more familiar with what's going on, we've been focused on the racing part of it. Although the boys, Clay and Cristian, got to go do the end of Mini Takes the States. So I expect us to race an electric car in the future, a Mini. So which one is that going to be?
If you race an electric one in the future, it'll probably be the what car is that? I have pictures. I've seen them. Mini Cooper electric.
So our fans should know. Like they should, vote to see which one we race.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have the. They have unmasked photos of the car because it was revealed a little early. Someone basically unveiled it on accident, and I use on accident with air quotes because
It leaked.
yes, they leaked the car. They
Yeah.
leaked the car, but this is the concept vehicle currently being tested.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
So I already know. I've seen the leaked car, so I already know what it's going to look like. And it's going to be a very, very clean lined car. In fact, I imagine there won't be much to remove on the interiors when you strip them out to set them up for racing.
Yeah.
Much simpler dashboard and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But that one I want to see. I want to see that one out racing. I think that would be a fun thing to see.
Copy that.
And it definitely would add a little bit of a learning curve, especially if like upgrading it and like if there's a way you can extend the battery range, because I can't imagine pit stops and recharging during pit stops would be very easy.
Yeah, no, I mean that's the reason why we don't race an electric car at the moment, and as other than Formula E, but out of the production cars, you know, the struggle is that it's the range at full power, right? So I expect, you know, we've been talking about it quite a bit, and obviously we know it's the future. So at some point, we will get a car and start working on it.
Because what's your average in an average race? What's the amount of mileage you put on the car during the race?
40. It's 40-minute race. So whatever distance we
cover in 40 minutes.
Yeah.
So 40 minutes, full tilt, and with the electric Mini, that's about 97 miles per hour. So you're not going to be going very fast in that car if you were to compete against internal combustion cars.
Yeah.
So I imagine the speeds would slow down a little bit if it were a full electric field.
Yeah. So that's the struggle for all the manufacturers at the moment. Like inevitable that you know the future will be electric racing in every class. You know, you can see that in sports cars are going hybrid now next year in IMSA and WEC. You know, Formula One's been doing that for many years in the hybrid era, right? So, you know, everything's just developing to be at some point full electric. So, you know, we'll grab a hold of one of them. We're waiting to see which one's the best product. You know, like the best performing Mini, I guess that would be suited for racing, and then we'll start developing it. You know, maybe we'll just do some other events, some short events. You know, one opportunity could probably be Pikes Peak, just to test it. You know, develop it. That's 10 miles, right?
Mm-hmm.
Also, that should be a reasonable event to do. You know, I was even thinking maybe some stage rally could be possible. I think, you know, because all 10 to 15 mile stage, and you do, I don't know, 2 or 3 of those a day. So maybe that's a reasonable thing to do, but we'll see. You know, you know, it's just conversations at the moment. You know, a lot of moving parts need to come together to make it happen.
Yeah, and I imagine you'd have to figure out what the range is on one of those at full tilt. So pedal to the floor. How fast do you burn out? How fast do you drain the battery?
Yeah,
because I'm sure that'll be something to figure out as well.
Yeah, I mean that happens to all of them. You know, as even the Tesla, like if you run it full 100%, the battery doesn't last as long as it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can take a Bugatti Veyron and full tilt and drain its fuel tank in what, like 11 minutes or something. So imagine what you do with an electric car.
Right.
Yeah.
Just completely drain the battery. But it'll be an interesting thing to see a full electric Mini out there doing some racing. But yeah, so we got Road America coming up. Where's Road America located? Out of curiosity, Wisconsin.
Elkhart, Wisconsin.
Okay, I'm tempted to try to drive up there for the event. I'm gonna have to see on that one, but I'm tempted.
Where are you at? I forget.
I'm in basically Kansas City area.
City, right? So
yeah.
You're not probably. I mean, we drove to Watkins Glen, New York from Indy. That was a 10-hour drive. We made it. We made it home that same Sunday night. So you should be able to do it.
Yeah, I mean,
works too, so it should be even faster.
yeah, especially with the way the car looks right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone will just get out of the way because the car looks so cool. They'll have to look at it as it's driving by.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's that one. What's after Road America?
Sebring.
And that's where in
Florida.
Florida. Okay, so you got a long drive down to Florida then for that one.
14 hours. We'll probably drive too.
Well, great. So one way or another, I'm going to try to. If I can't get out there to a race, I'm going to at least try to come out to. If I can't get to one of the races this year, I'm at least try to come to the facility in Indiana and check it out and visit you all.
Well, I mean, we have our season finale in Indy, so maybe.
Yeah, I'm supposed to. I would be there, except I'm supposed to be unfortunately pet sitting that weekend.
Pet sitting. You can find somebody else.
There's no excuse.
Yeah.
Not when it's your parents. Not when it's your parents.
Yeah.
Bring it.
Yeah.
That's at the racetrack.
Bring this 12-year-old golden retriever with me. I'm not going to do that to her. That'd be torture for her. I don't think she would enjoy the drive.
Yeah, it might be. It won't be that hard.
But one way or another, if I don't come to the Indianapolis race this year, I'll come to it next year. But I'm just going to try to get to one of these races before the end of this year. If not, at least come visit the facility and meet you all in person. Meet some of you in person, obviously, because Clay will be out in California and PJ's up in Canada. So I'll get to meet the Perocarpis at least, and get a full tour of that facility. So either way, there's some fun stuff. There's some fun stuff ahead. I wish I had been able to go on Mini Takes the States. I didn't go. I didn't even do minis in the mountains, unfortunately, this year. But I heard Mini Takes the States was pretty fun, and I know Cristian and Clayton got to go take part in some of it. And how was it? What'd y'all think?
Well, it was a blast.
Yeah, it was pretty cool to see all the mini owners out there.
Yeah, lots of cars. That was awesome to see. And then we went to the BMW Performance Center, so we got to just beat on a bunch of minis, which was super fun too.
So you get to go do exactly what you do on racing weekends.
Exactly.
Go thrash some more cars.
Yeah.
But,
the other thing that was kind of cool is at the Performance Center they have the training center too, right? Is that correct?
Yeah,
there's like
I think it's across the street.
Yeah.
But in the same area, they have where they train all the technicians, and one of their trainings is collision. Well, they have one of our race cars be damaged severely back actually at Road America. So that would have been
2 years ago.
Years ago,
2
exactly.
years, yeah.
You know, so they've had that car for a while, and they cut it up and took all the wrinkled stuff off, and they're trying to straighten it out, and they're trying to fix it. So I expect that they were waiting for some chassis bits and pieces to arrive from Germany to try to complete it, and we'll see if they get it done. That was one of the cars that I didn't think that was fixable, and we'll see. I mean, they were going to try, so they've had it for a while now, and we'll see. So that was cool. That was in front of it. Everybody got to see it. I think Clay and Cristian were with the car when all the mini owners came in to check out the collision center training. I think that was pretty busy, wasn't it, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. There was pretty much a line out the door.
I'd imagine it was pretty interesting to see all that. How bashed up does one of your cars have to get before you scrap the car?
Well, so this one that they're fixing now, so we have two of them that are pretty twisted. The one so I have one in the shop now that's on our collision bench. We have the same tools the same tools that the collision center training has.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have the one that we damaged at BAR last year. That one's all pretty.
The red car, not the TC car.
Either both of them, I don't know if they're repairable or not, but fine. So it's taken us a long time. One's been 2 years and just going on a year now, but
I would imagine
it really depends. If it gets down to, we can easily change what they call the chassis rails, the horns. So basically, from the firewall, you have the strut tower and two rails that come out that hold the engine in place. And those get, they get tweaked and bent or crashed or smashed back. And they're obviously crumple sewn. So for a normal street crash, they're quite, quite soft, or I guess, as it's made to absorb to dissipate the energy of an impact.
Yeah, because you don't want that energy being dispersed into the passenger sitting in the car.
And maybe for our next live stream after Road America, I'll send you some pictures of what that looks like. We can talk about it, but basically we can change those rails. Is probably the easiest thing to do. It's not easy. You need this machine.
Yeah.
But anything more than that, it's tough to fix. So both of these cars that we have here are beyond that. So the one at the collision center, at the training center, they've literally cut half of the firewall out, and all of the base of the A pillar, and it went into the roll cage too. So the roll cage the damaged pieces have been cut out. So once the car, if they can get it all together and straight within factory tolerance, then once I get it back, I have a cage too. So, that's sometimes building a new car is easier than trying to fix one of these, but then you have the cost, right? You need a car.
Yeah.
And
you ever thought of pulling, like finding a JCW from a salvage yard and bringing it in and turning it into a race car?
Yeah, the problem with salvage yard, it can't, if we're back to a crash car, then that's a problem. Normally an F56 that's totaled probably has chassis damage. Now, if it's a water damage or something like that, yeah, that would be doable, but trying to rebuild a car from a salvage that's wrecked, it's no different than what we're trying to do here, trying to fix the two race cars that are wrecked, right? So
yeah.
Yeah, but we have the equipment to do it. It's just how deep do you want to go into the chassis? And, at that point, is it worth fixing or not? We don't know. So I didn't think that these two cars were worth fixing. And as Mini was preparing for Mini Texas States, we knew that the Mini Texas States was going to end there at the collision center, at the training center. So they asked us if we had a car to display, and I said, well, I have two total race cars that I'm storing, and so I sent them the worst one, and they're trying to get it fixed. So we'll see what happens.
That's pretty interesting. So I imagine that'll be if they get it rebuilt, I imagine we'll be seeing that car back out on the track at some point.
Well, I just told Cristian today that if we get one of them fixed before Indy, that I'm tempted to race it myself and join PJ and Cristian. Maybe have to show them how to win a race.
Okay, that would be funny. Father son on the same track. That would be. I would love to see that. That'd be fantastic.
It's if you can keep up with me and PJ, Dad. That's the real question.
So I just noticed too, right, that the sign behind me is my SRO banner, and if you notice the car number, it's the same car number that Cristian's driving today. you know.
So are you gonna make him switch
Right.
numbers, or are you just gonna put a different number on your car?
Well, I'll let him keep 61. Well, we'll come up with a new number. Maybe that's something that if I can get a car ready in time for Indy, then maybe after the live stream, the live stream that we do after Sebring, maybe we get the fans involved and maybe we'll pick a number between all of us. You know, that would be a fun thing to do.
That'd be a fun one. I know there's a lot of people out there that get involved in that. Naturally, we already have a number in mind, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I think for next season we need to get our numbers back from the people that have them. So
Yeah, and we'll probably do that. I mean, if you know, I mean, yeah, we'll work on some.
who has number 73 currently?
We lent that number to LA Honda Works.
they have 73 and 37. So
Yeah, we lended both of those numbers to them.
Yeah, you need to get 37 back for next year.
Yeah.
Well, I think 73 also for us.
Yeah.
Is such a famous number that.
I'd like to have them both back. I mean, 73
Yeah.
is winningest number.
Yeah.
And it started in IMSA with the minis, and so that has quite a history for LAP, and then obviously 37. We all know the history on that one, which is, you know, a legendary mini number, right? So,
Well, I mean, there's several others apparently. There's also the number 74 is also a legendary mini number.
yeah.
For
So
the first. Go ahead. Sorry.
say that again.
No, I said 74 is also a legendary mini number.
Yeah, who run that number?
That was the 1961. That was the first Mini Cooper. That was 1961. I think it was Jack Brabham who raced under that number.
Copy. So I
And
didn't,
the car was basically, it was a black Mini Cooper with white numbers on it.
there you go.
So that's apparently a famous enough number. That's the number they put onto the anniversary edition JCWs. They all have number 74 on them.
Yeah, we had also we still have, or we still own 52, which is a big number too, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when we went to SRO, from IMSA to SRO, we weren't allowed to use the 37, 52, or 73. So because they were taken already in that series, so we decided to go with 60 for the 60th anniversary, right? And then just have all the numbers one after another: 61, 62, 63. I think.
Well, then your number needs to be 59 for the first mini, for the first year of the mini.
We can do that too. Yeah. So that would be something fun to do if we get a car to Indy. Maybe we get the fans involved and we all come. You know, we did that for the 73 number. So when we were in IMSA and we came out with the third car and we needed a number, so we went on social media, and that was a great turnout. We had a lot of people, and 73 won, and the reason for 73 was because, according to Sheldon from help me out here, what's the show?
Big Bang Theory.
The Big Bang
Theory.
If you listen to him, he will tell you why 73 is the perfect number. So there's quite an explanation from Sheldon why 73 is the perfect number. So that's how that number got 73. You know,
There you go.
and we were really successful for the last 6-7 years with that number. So that's become LAP's winningest number. You know, so
Well, then you definitely need to get that number back.
yeah, we own them, so they're still just we'll get them back. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's so we'll see if I can get a car ready. You know, I play around. Obviously, I would go try to do my best, but also I've always said that if I'm racing against my own cars against my own drivers, I won't race them. I'll help them. So I did that in 2019 when I raced at the Glen. We had 4 cars, and PJ and I were going toe to toe there for several laps. But my goal was just make sure I didn't beat any of my own cars and help them with points. And back then, you know, Mark Pombo was fighting for the championship against, you know, Whitmer and PJ's teammate. And he had a rough weekend. And my goal was to get ahead of him. And I did them both well. And if race 1, he crashed. And then in race 2, he finished behind me. So that was my job, was to take points away so Mark could gain some points in there. The other thing is too, you know, if you enter the last 2 weekends of the season, you don't get championship points. So for that same reason, so you're not messing up, come in at the last minute like I would and try to mess up, you know, Fartook, and let's say Cristian was P2 in the championship and there was a chance, like, you know, I wouldn't, even if I beat Fartook or both of them, I wouldn't affect their run, you know. So
Right.
So I do want to ask Cristian, what was going through your head when you were getting ready to go across the finish line?
It was pretty blank. It still kind of hasn't really set in.
Praying that the tire didn't let go of the left front.
Yeah, it was definitely a weird race, and I definitely I feel like I approach races a lot different than a lot of people. It's drive 60% and then 100% at the end. And a lot of people are 100% at the beginning and 60% at the end. So I think that that mindset pretty much saved our race, because everybody popped tires in front of me, even though, as PJ knows, we had the fastest car race 1 by a long shot, way better than the Subarus and the Honda. I truly believe, even if we didn't have, even if the tires weren't popping, we would have passed the Honda and the Subaru, because me and PJ were right there with them, and we were actually gaining on them. And even in race 2, before I actually had a tire issue, we had finally got past the Honda, which questionable driving on some parts there of said driver, but we were catching the leading Subaru, so I think we had the fastest car probably all weekend.
That's great. Clay, same question for you as we watch your clip.
For me, I'll let you guys watch it.
This was as you crossed the finish line.
Yeah.
Let's see if he can bring it home. Bartok, the championship leader, has got his car up into second, unbelievably, as everyone else has had their drama today.
So yeah, same question for you. What was your thought? What was going through your head while you're crossing the finish?
So a lot of people might not know, but during that whole race, we were having some clutch issues with it releasing. So I was actually having to help pull the pedal back up. So I was just really, really happy that it made it to the finish, because I was, you know, pretty much nursing the car the whole race and just trying to be as gentle as I can with it. So I was just stoked that we were able to get to the finish with the car in one piece, and the clutch survived the whole race. So
What was wrong? So the clutch pedal was just sticking, basically?
yeah, we were. Go ahead.
So I was just gonna, it was kind of just sticking. It was something with the fork. Lewis could probably explain it in more detail, but there's a small issue with the fork inside the transmission. Yeah,
the way the slave cylinder fork throw-out bearing system is, we've been having issues with the clutch disc for the last couple of races because of the power, right? We've been running basically a JCW clutch, at 300 horsepower when it's ready for 230, and so we ended up having to change clutch every weekend, and so we upgraded to a stronger pressure plate clutch, and for whatever reason, the ball where the clutch throw bearing fork pivots came out of the transfer the bell housing, so it just pushes in there, and then like the clutch it holds it in place. Well, it came out, so it moved about 15 millimeters from where it used to pivot, and now so nothing was working basically the pedal. And it's interesting because when there is ever an issue either with the flywheel, clutch, or whatever, the pedals don't the clutch pedal doesn't come back. Somehow it affects the hydraulic system, and we had an issue with the dual mass flywheels a couple of years ago, and we didn't know what it was until we and we found out the dual mass was worn out. You know, they have a like an oil. I mean, they have a dampening system in it, and worn out, and the clutch pedals weren't coming back. So here with Clay's car, we roll into VIR, and all of a sudden the clutch pedal was kind of awkward and it wasn't coming back, or it was slow returning at the beginning, and then it just got worse. And so there was some drama there. You know, we kind of were dealing with that through practice. I'm not sure it was really that big of a deal until we went into quali. And right before quali, we were talking about the clutch, and then in quali, like, man, the clutch pedal's not coming back. So we had 3 hours between qualifying and the race one to find the problem and fix it. Well, I knew that it had something to do with either the pressure plate, the throw-up bearing, or the slave cylinder, something in there, because the pedal wasn't coming back. So, to make a long story short, we the only solution was take the engine out and go into, remove the transmission and see what's going on in there. And we had 3 hours, and we had decided that we were going to go ahead and change the clutch in that 3 hours. Now that's the way to change the clutch. You have to take the engine out, separate the transmission from the engine, and then fix whatever that is, a clutch, a fork, whatever it was, and then put it all back together. Well, by the time we were confident we had to go in the gearbox, we had like 2 hours left. And I said, you know what? We can change an engine, like pull an engine out and put another one in 2 hours. But I didn't think we had enough time to take the engine out, separate the transmission, fix whatever was going in there, put it back together and put it in, and then not have a problem, right? So now we just decided, look, we'll just wing it, because the odds of us doing that repair and making the race were probably very slim. The odds of the car making it to the checker flag were better. Mm-hmm. So we chose not to change it. So from the outside, it looked like, Clay just breezed through a win from pole to checker flag. But, everybody else is popping tires, and we're wondering when the clutch was going to let go on Clay's car, So it was a nail biter for all of us in pit lane, as cars are dropping like fly in the TCA class. One car had a tire failure in TC, I believe, only one. And then, so we were worried about, PJ loses a tire, and we're like, oh, here we go. Like, nobody's going to finish in TCA. And then not only that, now we're worried about Cristian, and PJ's out, we're Cristian. And all along we were worried about Clay making it to the finish line. So, it was incredible that we had 2 first places there, because none of it should have happened, to be honest with you.
Well, Adam from Seattle Mini posted a comment. It's like, the plastic ball pin the fork pivots on presses into the bell housing. When it overheats, it pops out. Seen it once in the field. I wonder if you could fabricate a metal one and screw it in.
Yeah, so we could probably do that. I mean, we have the resources to machine make one out of either aluminum or steel. I would say aluminum, Yeah, that's a great idea, So potentially we'll have to do that. We just unloaded a car, so tomorrow we'll start making the work list, and probably one of those now. Thanks. What was his name again?
His name's Adam. I get the feeling Adam's a technician up at Seattle Mini.
Yeah, is he been with us? Is he writing? Can he reply? I think he's been with us, hasn't he?
I don't know if he has. I don't know if he has or not.
Portland?
That's Sonoma.
Great weekend, guys. Looking forward to what the rest of the season brings. And then he hyphenated Adam from Seattle Mini.
Yeah.
Probably. We had some guys from Seattle at Sonoma.
Sonoma, yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
I was with you guys in Sonoma.
Yeah.
Nice.
Ah, that's awesome. Thanks, Adam. Yeah.
Thank you.
Out of aluminum.
That's not a bad idea. It's a pretty ingenious solution.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. And if it's, I mean, that was a problem all along. So by the way, after race 1, we knew right away, as soon as the car was back, we were going to do the clutch anyway for race 2. And just like Adam was there, we had 3 mini techs from 3 different dealerships there. And we changed the clutch in exactly 3 hours, and we even took a break to eat. So we would not have made the race if we had decided to do it. So I think at the end of the day, those are those nail-biting decisions. Do you do it? Can we do it? Yes, we could probably do it, but what are the odds? And when you're in a thrash like that, if something breaks and then you can't fix it, it was absolutely the right decision to. Because you don't have a giant shop. You don't have a giant shop with 80 technicians or 5 technicians or 10 technicians where they can all put a car up on a lift and get it done at the racetrack, and then you're out. Yeah. Well, so I bet if you ask a technician how long does it take them to change a clutch at a dealership, I bet it'd probably be longer than the 3 hours that it took us to do it.
Probably.
Yeah. I know that.
Hi, Tanine. What did she say?
She said the mini techs are a huge help at the track.
Absolutely.
I would.
Amazing to have them there.
The mini techs are a huge relief to have. Also, we have a couple good mechanics, but adding our good mechanics plus the mini techs is just pretty much a dream team.
There she is. She says hi.
So she's watching the live stream along with the rest of us. What was I going to say? Oh, funny thing about the clutches though is I had a day where I was hearing this shudder when I kept pushing my clutch pedal while I was moving slowly through a parking lot. I'm freaking out thinking there's something wrong with my car. I take it up to the mini dealership. The service advisor takes it around the lot, comes back and says, "Oh, that's the dual mass flywheel. It makes that noise all the time."
Interesting. Yeah.
Problem solved, but I was freaking out. Brand new car, and I have a fluttering noise from the flywheel.
Yeah.
Good.
Too loud, we can't hear the noises when from the engine.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Unfortunately, I could. I think I had my exhaust valve closed at the time, so.
I can tell when you're leading a race, you hear every single noise that the car makes. So. You would hope
you also don't have any sound deadening in those cars, so you'll hear everything on on the track.
Yeah,
feels like you're going insane. It's cool to lead a race, but the mental games that your brain plays with you is definitely not fun. PJ and Clay can probably vouch.
Yeah,
it's much different up front.
First, if you're 10 seconds by yourself, has to be way worse than coming to the checker flag with your competition on your exhaust, on your tailpipe, right? I don't think you have time to be listening. You just continue to race, but
yeah,
kind of just tune it. You kind of just tune
your
it.
Full focus.
Yeah.
So, well, sounds like everything's been going pretty good. This last race ended on some high notes. Condolences to PJ for having some issues. So hopefully the next race is better.
It will be. I've always been super fast at Road America. I got my first fastest lap there, my first pole position there. I think I've got a handful of podiums there. The Mini's going to be absolutely incredible there, so I'm very much looking forward to it. We're going to start the second half of the season on the right foot. So,
absolutely,
yeah,
for sure.
Well, you have from Australia apparently.
Awesome.
Thank you.
So lots of people are watching from all over the world. It looks like, because I have an audience all over the world, and you guys apparently have some fans all over the world. So if it's a mini being raced on a track, there's going to be fans all over the world who are going to be watching it happen.
We absolutely have a lot of support from every corner of the world. It's very helpful too, right? Like, we know that there's a lot of fans, and the community is so tight, and we get it, we hear it, we feel it, and so when we're successful at the track, it's just not a team thing, but for sure for the entire mini community, it's pretty awesome.
Yep, yeah, definitely. You don't see a lot of other car companies post on their press clubs about the successes of their racing teams quite that often. At least like the TC ones, the smaller ones. So you see Mini USA posting everything with the JCW Racing Team, and then something fun happened that weekend.
Yeah, it's been a great partnership. We love our cars, and we'll continue to do our best to put Mini on the top step of the podium.
Well, keep that up. But we're coming up on toward the end of the hour, so we've answered a few questions, but we'll do a little housekeeping here. So if you haven't subscribed to the Miniac, go ahead and do so. YouTube.com/theminiac or www.theminiac.com. I also want to thank our sponsors. We got outmotoring.com. You can get a 5% discount off using Miniac 5. You can also go to motoringstripes.com, use 5% discount code Miniac. And if you're interested in a t-shirt, I got the t-shirts. I got a t-shirt store as well. But I know the JCW Racing Team has a lot of stuff as well, so I don't have their link, unfortunately, pulled up right now for your t-shirt store. Or, I'm sorry, for your website. But
yeah.
But let me try to find it here real fast. There we go. I don't know why every time I type in Lap Motorsports, I get a Lake Forest, California motorcycle shop.
You can put a minijcwteam.com.
Okay, minijcwteam.com. Come on, work with me here. I think my internet's just up. There we go. Now we're cooking. Okay. So if you want to check out more exploits from the JCW Racing Team, go to minijcwteam.com. And there we go. We got the Giant Killer. We got Mini JCW Team wins 2020 TC America Championship. You might need to update. I think you might need to add a few updates to your website.
Yeah, we've been we need to do that. So we're working on it.
Yeah. But anyway, I want to thank you again for coming onto the live stream. It's always great to chat with you all, and it's always great to hear more about the successes of the team. But I want to thank everybody for watching, and I feel like we have more comments that we might have missed.
Well, let's hit them real quick.
Let's hit them real quick.
Yeah.
Tanine says we had someone on our live Facebook feed at the beginning of the race from Germany. Miniac Pacific Northwest, great to see you guys. Hope to make it out again sometime. It was a life-changing experience. Take it easy. And Tanine said currently being updated. So I guess she heard our comment about the website.
Yeah. We've been working on it. It's just a little bit of a, race cars come first. So,
yeah,
but we'll get that updated too with all the great news.
Well, great to hear it. So great chatting with you all. We're gonna recap for Road America next month. So we got that one to look forward to. We got another post before I head out here. Notice Bathurst in the background with Cristian. Fantastic track and a mini, FYI.
Yeah, it's one of my all-time favorite tracks.
But it was great chatting with you all, and I want to thank everybody for watching this live stream with the JCW Racing Team. If you're interested in learning more about minis or interested in buying a mini, go to miniusa.com. If you're interested in seeing more on the Miniac, head to the www.theminiac.com. And if you want to learn more about the JCW Racing Team, go to, let me see if I got this right again, minijcwteam.com.
Yeah.
There you go. So go there and check out more stuff about the JCW Racing Team as well. But it was great chatting with you all again. And as always, before I let you all go, I'm just going to remind you all that life is too short to drive a boring car. So what do we do, guys?
You drive a
Drive
Mini.
a Mini.
Drive a Mini. Yep. All right. Well, great chatting with you all. See you all later.
See you guys.